Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle something that affects, well, pretty much all of us, but often feels like a total puzzle: dental insurance. So, have you ever looked at your dental plan and just felt completely lost? Like you're trying to read a different language? Trust me, you are not alone. So, in the next few minutes, we're going to slice right through all that complexity. The goal? To turn that confusion into total confidence. Okay, so let's just dive right in at the beginning. What even is dental insurance really? You can kind of think of it as a specialized health plan, right? But here's the key difference from your regular medical insurance: its main goal is prevention. Seriously, the whole idea is to catch problems early, keep you healthy, and, keep your future costs way down. And that focus on prevention, that's exactly why it has its own unique set of rules for things like deductibles and how you and the insurance company share the costs. So, what can you actually use this insurance for? What does it cover? Well, it's super helpful to think about it like a menu of treatments. Let's take a look at what's typically on that menu. Okay, so most plans cover a pretty wide range of stuff. You've got your everyday things, right? The exams, the x-rays, the cleanings. That's all in that diagnostic and preventative bucket. But then you get into the bigger things: restorative work like fillings and crowns, or even oral surgery for getting a tooth pulled. And yeah, it can even cover things like root canals, that's endodontics, or braces, which is orthodontics. But, and this is a big but, this is where it starts to get tricky. Just because something's on that menu doesn't mean every plan pays for it the same way. Not at all. The most crucial thing you need to get your head around is the basic philosophy of your plan. All right, this breaks down the two main ways these plans think. On one side, you've got what's called a scheduled plan. I want you to think of this like a fixed price menu at a restaurant. It pays a specific set dollar amount for every single procedure. It's simple, no real surprises. But then on the other side, you've got the much more common non-scheduled plan. Now this one's different. It pays a percentage of what the insurance company thinks is a usual, customary, and reasonable cost for that service in your area. They call it UCR. And with these plans, yeah, you're almost always going to be sharing the cost through a deductible and something called coinsurance. And this is a perfect example of how that cost sharing actually works in a non-scheduled plan. See, the insurance companies really want you to get that preventative care, so they'll often cover it 100%. No cost to you. But as you move into, say, basic services like getting a filling, they might drop down to covering 80%. And for the really major stuff, like a crown or a bridge, you could be on the hook for half the cost. And just to make it a little more interesting, some plans are actually hybrids. They mix and match. A plan might cover your cleanings using that percentage model, but then switch over to a fixed dollar amount for something major like a root canal. This right here is exactly why you have to read the details of your specific plan. Okay, now we get to the part that honestly trips up so many people: the fine print. We're talking about the maximums, the limitations, all those rules of the road. And listen, every single plan has them, and you absolutely have to know what they are. So you might be asking, what's the catch here? I mean, why do all these limitations even exist? Well, it really comes down to managing risk for the insurance company. They're trying to avoid something called adverse selection. That's basically a fancy term for a situation where people only sign up for insurance when they know for a fact they need like a $5,000 procedure, and then they drop the plan right after. These rules are what help keep the plans affordable for everyone else. Okay, one of the biggest limitations you're going to run into is the annual maximum. This is a hard and fast cap. It's the absolute maximum amount of money your insurance company will pay out for your care in one single year. A lot of plans hover around this $2,500 mark, but of course it can definitely vary. Now, to help you avoid those awful surprise bills for big procedures, your plan will probably require something called a predetermination or a pre-authorization. And look, I know it can feel like just another annoying hoop to jump through, but it's actually there to protect you. Your dentist submits the treatment plan, the insurer reviews it and confirms exactly what they'll cover, and then, boom, you and your dentist know the exact out-of-pocket costs before any of the work even starts. It totally gets rid of the guesswork. And last but not least, every plan has a list of stuff it just won't pay for, period. These are called exclusions. We're talking about things that are purely cosmetic, like teeth whitening, or treatment that's already covered by something else, like workers' comp. It could even be something like replacing a lost or stolen denture. It is so important to know what's on your plan's exclusion list. All right, so we've gone through the basics, we've talked about the different plan types, and we've dug into the fine print. So now what? How do you take all this knowledge and actually put it into action? This is really the final and I'd say most important piece of this whole puzzle. When it comes right down to it, it's all about this one idea. Your dental plan is a contract. It's a deal. And this quote really says it all. If a service is not listed under a closed list, then it's not covered. That's it. It's that simple. Understanding what is and what is not on that list, that is the absolute key to getting the most out of your benefits and, of course, avoiding any nasty surprises. So now you're armed with all this new knowledge, right? You can actually look at your own policy with fresh eyes. You know what to look for. Is it a scheduled or a non-scheduled plan? What are my coinsurance percentages? What's my annual maximum? My hope is that this whole explainer has given you the tools you need to go from being kind of confused to feeling really confident and to truly make the most of your dental benefits.